Very good morning, Greg and Manya. Excited to be here for the second edition of the USIU Half Marathon. This is only the second edition, and this year about 1,800 participants are going to be taking part in this year's Half Marathon. Now, the exciting thing about this marathon is that it is not only about, making sure people stay fit and, wellness. It's also for a good purpose. The theme of this race is Miles for Education, and even as they run this Miles for Education, it's a combines both philanthropy, wellness promotion, and of course the most important, raising funds to support scholarships for financially challenged students. It is hosted by USIU Africa Campus and its surrounding routes, and the event features multiple races: 21 kilometers, the 10 kilometers, the 5 kilometers, just a bit of inclusivity in everything. Now, when you look at this race, you remember the reason as to why we do great causes. Behind me is the 20 getting to be flagged off. The kilometer race. Already, guys were here very, very early, and now it looks like they are start, and there they go, as you can see, right in the middle of it. So Manya, Greg, probably you guys should take it away now, because as you can see, they've turned up in large numbers to ensure that they're going to be running for a good cause. I've seen some familiar faces here, and of course it's great to see the enthusiasm, because they know they are running for a good cause. These numbers are actually quite impressive, and this is just one of the reasons why you see that you discover the importance of such races. Now, 43% of these runners are taking part in the 21 kilometers. Another 39% are taking part in the 10 kilometers. We have about 42 partners and sponsors also here. So when it was launched in 2025 under the theme of Miles for Education, it was created to raise scholarship funds for financially challenged students while promoting healthy living and meaningful impact. So it's good to see community inclusivity. That is...
Hand over. Philo, hand over to commentators. Hi.
The USIU Africa Half Marathon is already underway. It's an annual event started back in 2025. And I'm in studio myself, Manya Nyamwea, with Greg Mulemi, and we'll be your commentators this morning.
A very good morning, of course, being the 25th day of July, and this is the second edition of the USIU Africa Half Marathon, race that brings together both the elite and, of course, the fun runs. It starts very early on a Sunday morning, not usual, but in this part of the world, but it's one of the races that will be more of good because of what's going to do to the society. There are races that brings together athletes, of course, both elite and, of course, those having fun runs like what you are seeing on your screens right now. And it's Miles for Education, a wellness promotion that, of course, will be aiming at making sure that at least someone goes home with not just education, but comfortable education.
And today we have several race categories. We have the 21 kilometers, which we've just seen being kicked off. And on your screens is actually Zumba warm-up, which is really fun. This is the exact kind of thing. You want to be able to dance and then run, warm up in the best way possible. And the runners that we're looking at will probably be running the 10-kilometer race, the CEO challenge, the corporate challenge, as well as a 5-kilometer fun run, which should be underway a lot later from 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, and of course, the fun part of it is the Zumba. You see everyone just trying to ensure that they're in the rhythm, doing everything to ensure that this day becomes as fun as possible. And looking at the events lined up today, the 21-kilometer half marathon, both male and female, that just kicked off a few moments ago. Glad is on the ground, of course, sharing everything that is happening down there. There is the 10-kilometer male and female race that will be coming up in a bit. And the 10-kilometer CEO challenge that comes your way at around 7:45 a.m. And then we'll have the 10 kilometers corporate challenge that begins at 8 in the a.m. And finally, we'll have the 5-kilometer fun run open to everyone. You can come from everywhere you are in this part of the Republic. It begins at 8:30 a.m.
And the reason why it's important to participate in things that build the community as well as run for a good cause is that at the same time, you have a lot of fun doing it. I believe on the screens that is MC Maxwell Fundi that's taking us through the Zumba warm-up sessions. And USIU is a very prestigious university, and it doesn't cost a shabby sum to attend. And sometimes you want to get the best quality education, an American quality education, but you cannot afford it. So that's where Miles for Education comes in. How many miles are they running today? 21 kilometers, 10 kilometers and 5 kilometers for the purposes of supporting the less fortunate in the community, the students of USIU who are unable to afford the fees but are gifted students who absolutely deserve an education.
Yeah, and you can always wish for better education. And when it comes it's with such opportunities, I think it's a good thing, and it would go way to ensuring that some of the students, of course, those not really, those who are not really privileged, get a chance to actually get the education they would be wishing for. Because for everyone in this country, I believe everyone wants to have that quality education, and if you can always have a way of finding it, then I think this is the best way to do it. If there is a way someone can come and chip in, like the way USIU Africa has done, this is great, really great.
If you're just tuning in, good morning, happy Sunday morning. On your screens is Maxwell Fundi taking us through the Zumba sessions at the USIU Africa Half Marathon. The first edition was held in 2025, and this year, this flagship event continues, and for a good cause. It was launched in 2025, like I said, under the theme Miles for Education, with the aim of raising scholarship funds for financially challenged students while promoting health and community engagement. Today at 6 a.m., we had the assembly time for the 21-kilometer half marathon. And in this race, we'll be featuring a few elite athletes, men and women, who will be looking to better the times that were run last year. And so this is something that we are definitely staying tuned in for. But for now, Maxwell Fundi takes us through the warm-up.
Yeah, and of course, it's part of the events lined up for today. And remember, the day started really early at 4 in the morning when we had the local organizing committee arriving. Then we had the football, the leads, volunteers. You know, such races, you got to have volunteers, because you cannot just come and start doing a race without volunteers. Athletics Kenya, of course, being involved, because some of these athletes that you can that are participating in, like the ones you're seeing right now on your screens, are athletes who participate at the highest level. And looking at the way they've lined up, it's like everyone really wants to have a good day. And it's not about just the fun and, of course, participating. It's all about having good health and, of course, achieving the dreams. And the half marathon here, the 21 kilometers, of course, raising funds to support the students who are really in need of that. And it comes at, of course, not just sweat, but of course passion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're looking at images of the athletes running around Mirema, meaning they are working their way to the Northern Bypass. This marathon is actually going to be run almost entirely on the Northern Bypass, but they will not get to the Ruaka roundabout. They'll turn at Konka KONQA is the official turning point for the 21-kilometer race. And so we'll be getting images from there as well. We have hydration stations at 2.5 kilometers, at 5 kilometers, and at 10 kilometers as well. And additional water and refreshments will be available at the finish for the longer races, having hydration points at multiple sections of the course.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of the participants here. Some of them are having fun. Some of them really want to get this done. So it's a mixture. But at the end of the day, we'll be seeing who emerges victorious. Because as you said earlier, it's the second edition of this. The first edition having been held last year. In the women category, Catherine Mwanzau emerging the winner in a time of 1 hour 13 minutes and 5 seconds. And then we had Mary Munanu coming in second. That was the 21-kilometer race, 1 hour 14 minutes and 3 seconds. The men category was won by Zakaria Kiriki in a time of 1 hour 3 minutes and 1 second ahead of George Waiyaki. So you look at this, apart from the fun run, there are elite athletes who will be participating in this, and it just shows you how important this is for both the community and those who are participating in just for the accolades and, of course, finishing on the podium.
Absolutely. And if you're wondering what is up for grabs here for the elite athletes, it's not just an opportunity to be spotted and to get your professional career underway, because such opportunities are accessible. Sometimes you're not able to travel to different parts, but maybe there's a race in your community happening right next door. And for first place, for the 21-kilometer open race, the men and the women, what they're walking away with is 150,000 Kenya shillings. In second position, the second placed athlete will be walking away with 80,000, and the third athlete will be walking away with 70,000. And you know, Greg, we understand that these monies go a long way, because being a professional, an elite athlete is expensive. You need physiotherapy, you need to have a coach, you need transportation, you need a place to stay, you need fuel, you need hydration, and it's not just, or you need to eat a lot because you work your body and you need to replenish. Yeah,
and the preparation that comes your way is always very massive. And I look at these athletes, when you talk to them, some of them really go an extra mile, ensuring that their body is in good shape and, of course, clean. You know, when you talk about clean, we're not just talking about you not having those things, but, of course, ensuring that your body is in the perfect shape and you haven't used those... you haven't used those, how do you call them? The banned substances.
Performance-enhancing drugs,
PEDs. And it comes a long way. But then it's also important to know what's going on the ground.
That's right. And we're handing over to Gladys Midecha at the USIU Africa grounds to give us some interviews with some of the participants that are taking place in the second edition, that are taking part in the second edition of the USIU Africa Half Marathon.
Well, good morning once again, Greg and Manya. We're here at the start line, and I have with me two gentlemen who are going to be telling us why this race is so important and why they are doing it. As I told you earlier, the theme of this race is Miles for Education, and I'm going to be starting with the VC. He's going to tell us his name and why this is so important. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you very much. My name is Mwenda Ntarangwi. I serve as a VC here. And as you can see, I'm ready. I'm doing the 10K because we have Miles for Education to support our students who may struggle with paying fees at any one point for different reasons. And we just want to thank our students and our sponsors and our community members for a wonderful turnout today. Yes.
Last year was the first edition. This is the second, and it looks like it's growing at just 2 years old.
Yes, it's growing, and we're going to be even bigger soon because we are for a worthy cause, and we have a very good community that support our university, that want us to succeed and want our students to also succeed. And so we're looking forward to even a bigger event today and the next year as well.
Well, I'm going to let him get ready for his 10K. He should be in the warm-up, but I'm also going to talk to another man who is a big support system for him. This is the CEO. Mr. CEO, good morning.
No, my name is Paul Kasimu. I'm the chair of the University Council.
Today it's a battle with the Vice Chancellor. So I've just told him he will read my number plate at the end. But today is a great day where we have seen the entire community come together. Students, professors, partners to support our cause. And we are trying to raise up to about 5 million for students who cannot afford school fees. And that is a great one, especially when it's coming from students. Over 2,000, 3,000 almost people are running, 21 kilometers. Now we are doing 10 kilometers. I'm just looking forward to a great day.
Well, last year, 1,800 participants. This year, of course, the number has grown up. Do you also expect the money to be better this year?
First, I think it's just making sure that we have more people supporting the cause. So it's great that we can see the numbers have grown by over 50%, and we will expect more from the same. But we are saying even those who are not running, come throw in something, let's support others. Doing good.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you at the finish line.
See you at the finish line. Thanks.
Well, there you have it. Greg and Manya, the Vice Chancellor and the Chairman, have talked about the importance of this race. And now we turn our attention to the 10 kilometers that is just about to start off. Again, we are at the start line waiting for them to come. And as you can see, they are making their way here to the start line. Excited. They are flagging off. The chairman is going to be flagging off. And as you can see, the legendary Henry Wanyoike is here. And back to you, Greg and Manya, for the start of the 10 kilometer.
Absolutely. 6:45 was the official time for the flagging off of the 10-kilometer race. However, we're just about to get going. Henry Wanyoike represents persons with disabilities. So the USIU Africa Half Marathon is actually a very inclusive marathon. Not just the students and partners and lecturers and vice chancellors participating here today, but an opportunity for members of the community, people with disability, or otherwise referred to as people with determination, are also very welcome to participate in this. Henry Wanyoike, as you know, is a visually impaired athlete who's represented Kenya on numerous global stages, and he'll be running with his guide. And we'd love to see more people with determination taking part in this race today.
Yeah, and of course, you talk about Wanyoike. He's broken the barriers, broken records, won medals for this country. And it's all about the determination, as you said, and the zeal to ensure that you get it done. And as you can see, the 10-kilometer race is just about to begin, but the 21-kilometer race on the other side is already underway. And you can see now the grain is being separated from the chaff. The elite athletes now taking charge, as it began. And it's the beauty of racing. As we see the flag off of the 10-kilometer race that has just begun, but on the other side, the 21-kilometer already underway. As I was telling you, we all start together. Thousands, 2,000 athletes, of course, have started this 10-kilometer race, and it's an increase from the 1,800 that was there earlier on in the first edition. That was in 2025. That shows you that this race is growing to be something else. It's going to be a monster in a positive way, because everyone wants to participate with, and of course be involved with good things, and you can always see them. And the VC says he wants to participate in this one, and I'm just waiting to see what position is he gonna finish in.
Right. And you mentioned that we have 2,000 participants here today, and it would be something presumably assumed that about half or more than half will be participating in the 10-kilometer race. For the 21-kilometer race, if you want to participate, you might need a bit of training. You don't just wake up, Greg, and do a half marathon. 21.1 kilometers is not an easy task, but we're definitely going to see most of the participants here with the 5-kilometer fun run and the 10-kilometer open race for the men and women, as well as the corporate challenge, the CEO challenge, which is open to all. all. In case you are wondering what it costs to participate in such a race, it's only 2,000 shillings for a Kenyan citizen, an ordinary adult wanting to support education. But for students, USIU Africa students with an ID, it's 1,500 shillings to register. And for kids under 18, it's 1,800. A group of four, 7,400. For the CEO challenge, it's 20,000
Why would you
shillings.
go in a group of 4?
Because you want to save money, and then you want to encourage one another along the hills and valleys of the northern bypass.
I tell you, the terrain is always very grueling. In my day-to-day duties, that's my road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can always see why it is going to be a very grueling race for some of these athletes because of the terrain. Look at the valleys, the deep ends, the hills, hilly parts. And at the end of the day, I think it helps anyone, be it the winner or someone else who just wants to compete and complete the race successfully.
Colorful images coming from the northern bypass. And we can see that they haven't stopped traffic. They're literally running on the side of the road. And it takes decorum just from the drivers and from the other road users to allow these people who are running for a cause, Miles for Education, to give them way and support them and cheer them on. And this is not it's not an entirely lonely marathon. Some marathons in Kenya, some of the participants are going to feel like they're running alone, 42 kilometers, 21 kilometers, and you're running alone. But not today. There's going to be a lot of cheers and a lot of support, a lot of curiosity from onlookers along the northern bypass.
Yeah, and you can always see the ambulances are already on site. It tells you that, of course, we are expecting a few casualties. In May, I was in Botswana for the World Relays, and that was a hell of an experience because I could feel the difference between professional athletes and, of course, any other thing. The athletes you see on your screen, some of them are running for fun. Some of them, of course, want to make a statement because, the season just ended a couple of months ago. It was last month or in June. And now we are headed into pre-season. Some of the athletes that are participating here want to take part in the National Cross Country Series that begins in the next 3 months, I believe. So, I was part of Team Kenya for the World Relays. And
that's fantastic, Greg.
Yeah.
And what kind of running culture do they have in Gaborone?
Gaborone is a very beautiful land. It's in a very beautiful place. And they love Kenyans. And you can always feel there's a love, that connection between the Setswana and the Kenyans. And they always call us our brothers. And we call them our sisters. I don't know which one connects. But one thing, I can remember the 4x400 mixed relay, where Kenya really did well. Despite everything that happened, Kenya didn't win a medal, but it was quite a good outing. These athletes put in every effort to ensure that they're on top of their game. And as I talk about casualties, really, I literally saw athletes breaking down after the race. Recovery is very difficult, and it gave me a different perspective. Anyone who participates in a race, be it fun or professional, it takes a lot of effort and preparation to ensure that someone is in the great shape. Don't just look at them on the screen and think that they're jogging. But the effort they've made to ensure that they're in this shape, even running 100 meters, is not easy for anyone. So everyone who participates in this race, be it fun or even the elite athletes, they put in enough preparations to ensure that everything that is at the end of the day, they'll be part of history.
And Greg, you mentioned that it's an off year. 2026 is an off year for the athletics calendar. However, tomorrow we have the athletics beginning for the Commonwealth Games, and that will run all the way from the 27th, Monday, to the 31st of July, which is Friday. And there's athletes that we're looking out for. Omanyala will be seeking to defend his title in the 100 meters, but it's not going to be easy because there's a young man from Nigeria based in the U.S. called Kayinsola Ajayi, who will be making sure that who will be giving him a very hard time.
Yeah, I saw Ajayi in the Monaco Diamond League. Oh, he tore the field apart.
That's right. And he actually managed to stare down the reigning world champion, Oblique Seville.
Seville.
And that kind of drama is what we look for in track and field, really.
Yeah, but the beauty about the Commonwealth is that nobody comes in as a favorite. Remember Omanyala, after the disappointment in Oregon in 2022, many wrote him off after the disappointing semi-final exit. But he went to Birmingham, and what a race he had. And guys were like, wait. He actually just flew in and made a statement. So I think Omanyala is in a good place. The preparations have been nice. But then Ajayi, the 18-year-old, I think is one of the athletes to watch for the future. And that tells you how the sprints have evolved from being like everyone knew. In the past, it would be Usain Bolt. Everyone knows that is the favorite, is the clear favorite to win. But right now, when we go to such competitions, you're never sure of who is going to win. Maybe there's another Jamaican who we haven't even taken keen interest in. Yeah, Jamaica is part of the Commonwealth Games.
Jamaica is part of the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
Indeed, they were also colonized.
They were
They were colonized, and they were part of the British Empire a long, long time ago.
Yeah, but also it just gives you the perspective that the Commonwealth Games brings together the best of the best. Just to save a few, maybe the francophone countries. But you look at the level of competition from the para athletes. I've been watching the para weightlifting. I've seen a couple of Kenyans doing really great, and of course the 3x3 basketball team, they lost to Singapore marginally yesterday. Uganda beat us in the women's edition. But you look at what's being brought out is that athletics is something that you can never rule out, because Kenyans have really dominated. Look at Kinyamal is going for his third successive Commonwealth title in the 800 meters. So, but where does it begin? It begins with such.
That's right. And obviously, when Kenyans are able to participate in such events, then they understand that athletics is not just reserved for the elite few. It's not just world athletics handling the elite, but really we can all participate. And the beauty of this sport is that anyone can participate. You just need a good pair of shoes and your body, right? And if I'm not wrong, the lead athlete in the 21 kilometers race is Frida Ndinda. Frida Ndinda is a Tattoo City sponsored athlete who's been doing very well in big races, fairly big races in South Africa, and that was good to catch for the elite athletes. And of course, men and women were flagged off together. This is a mixed marathon, and so we're starting to get an idea of just exactly who's at the front at this time.
Yeah, and will be, you have to. Anytime you get an entry in a race, there's always that. How do you call it? The bib numbers, and I think we'll be using that to find out who is actually in the leading pack for this one. But right now, this is the 10-kilometer race that is already underway, and you can feel right now the lactic acid has started pouring in. Guys are getting tired, and everything that is happening right now, we are like already knowing who is gonna be part of that leading pack. Like you said, Frida Ndinda in the 21-kilometer race for the women. Being a mixed race, it's very, very, very difficult to tell how well prepared someone is, because right now, even the guys who marked the road for this race, they'll have to be very keen, because keeping pace with the leading pack, and of course the fun part of it, some of them are walking, some of them are running. It requires a lot of investment, not only on the track, but ensuring that everything that you do keeps up to the standards of this marathon.
About a month ago, on the 14th of June, Frida Ndinda ran a half marathon in Jakarta, India, and actually won it.
India?
Yes, in India. And she's been growing. She's a 10-kilometer half marathon specialist, and she's been representing Kenya in South Africa, races in other parts of Africa. And now she's off across the seas to India and is managing to make a mark for herself. So that's a kind of a quality, that's a kind of depth that we have the privilege of joining us today for the USIU Africa Half Marathon. Her half marathon PB is actually 1:15:22, which she ran about a month ago. Is she going to better that? I don't know. I think in the conditions are tougher here because we're running at about 1,600 meters above sea level, which is quite the elevation.
Yeah, and I think it gives her an advantage because having trained and rather taken part in races at sea level, I think she still has that resilience. And
she's absolutely the favorite for the half-kilometer race. So we're going to be looking out for Frida Ndinda.
Yeah, I can see Henry Wanyoike on the other side is also ensuring that he reignites the years and rewinds every good memory that we have about him. He's taking part in the 10-kilometer race that is already underway, both for the men and women, and it started at around 7 in the a.m. But also looking at the guys who are running for fun. I don't know how many kilometers can you do for fun?
Greg, I used to be a half marathon runner in my day. I was no elite athlete, but then unfortunately I'd run 21 kilometers in about 2 hours or 1 hour 45 minutes, and that was a big thing for me. But as you know, the world record for the full marathon that was run by Sebastian Sawa is about the same time. In fact, less, 1:59:30.
So you could do a full marathon for 4 hours. Interesting.
No, I think maybe 6 actually. Maybe 6 at a non-elite pace.
Should we do the next edition?
Absolutely, we should absolutely be
actually
on ground.
do commentary on ground.
Commentary on ground.
Yeah.
And spread ourselves across the course so we can talk about it.
Yeah, it'd be puffing and of course on the course. And Henry Wanyoike is one of the inspirations. Of course, he's done great things, and looking at him participating in this 10-kilometer race just inspires not only those who are watching, but also even those guys who really want to participate, because you look at Henry Wanyoike's story. I think it inspires everybody because he's broken all the barriers.
And you know, Greg, he was just 21 years of age when he suffered a stroke that caused him to lose about 95% of his vision overnight, eventually becoming completely blind. And he describes waking up to a world of darkness, a devastating experience that left him initially very depressed, but with rehabilitation and support from the Machakos Technical Institute for the Blind, he rebuilt his life and returned to running. How old is he? You know, you're looking at him and he's in good form, very, very fit, still running at the prime age of 52. His Paralympic medals include Sydney 2000, Athens 2004, and where he won 2 gold medals in Athens 2004 for the 5,000 and 10,000 in the T11 category, and in Sydney also came away with a gold. He was a champion for the 5,000 meters T11 in Beijing, which was his last outing, I believe, for the Paralympic medals, where he podiumed. He came away with a bronze medal in the 5,000 in the T11 category, which is the category for the visually impaired. So overall, he's won 3 Paralympic gold medals and 1 bronze medal, in addition to multiple world champion titles. And at some point, he had set world records in the 5,000 and the 10,000 T11 category. That is the quality of the people that are participating today in the USIU Half Marathon, where we're running for education. We're getting in these miles for education, for the education of the less fortunate. And for those members of the USIU community, the students who might not be able to afford such a quality education, here are students and lecturers and family members and community members making room for them.
Yeah, and many will be looking at the Henry Wanyoike story like nothing can stop you if you want to achieve something. And the fun run, I know you've said that you did 21 kilometers for 2 hours, eh? And 1 minute.
2 hours plus, yes.
2 plus.
Yeah, and I was much lighter. It's much easier to do it when you're as light as a feather.
Yeah, and I know at the end of the day, a couple of activities lined up after this. The Zumba sessions, I think there are like 5 sessions of Zumba for this one. And is it 5? Let's see. Yeah, 5 sessions of Zumba. So you can imagine, even if you're not part of the running team, you can actually be at the football pitch and do the Zumba sessions. I know some people might think it's easy, and until the time it ends, and then you go back at home and you're like feeling every part of your body is aching. But for this one, I believe all these athletes that are participating in this 10-kilometer run are prepared for this. You can feel some of them are really feeling the heat, and the hilly part is taking toll on them. As also the 21 kilometers, you can already see there is already 2 runners up front there, getting towards the business end of this one, because it started at around 6:30 in the morning. We'll be waiting to see who actually crosses the finishing line, the first one. That is the 21 kilometers on the right side of your screen, and on the left side of your screen, that is the 10-kilometer run that is already taking place. So plenty of tidings here. Gladys will be giving us, of course, the updates of who actually is in the leading pack, and we'll be waiting to see. And of course, the elite athletes will always be separated from the other athletes. So you can take part in the 21 kilometers and you'll be caught up by the guys doing the 10 kilometers because it is you can always tell the difference.
And Greg, we have to speak about the running boom in Nairobi, the running boom in Kenya. Nowadays, if you take too long, you might find that you cannot register for the marathon, and it's fully registered, fully booked, and that is that. A marathon that's going to be run in October, getting fully booked in July. Yes. So a lot more people are running. And I believe even Emily Chepkor of We Run Nairobi, she's a running influencer that you will see on social media, on your TikTok and Instagram, is also participating here today. Slowly by slowly, it seems that in a big way that we don't just have elite athletes representing us from Iten and Kaptagat and Nyahururu, but ordinary Kenyans wanting also to run for their health and just make better lifestyle choices are causing for these marathons to get packed and the registration closed in a very early.
Yeah, and it's all about the culture that has been built, and many Kenyans have now embraced racing as part of their lifestyle. Like everyone wants to take part, because you find that this is a busy country whereby everyone has to hustle, ensure that they make their ends meet. But then when you have a time of ensuring that you drain all that and having fun in participating in such. It's not all about just the name of the race or something, but also what it brings to you, that the mental wellness that comes after at the end of it. Like this race, apart from just being a race, of course, racing funds miles for education, and of course it's all about the mental wellness, and of course bringing together people. And when you race together, like you've seen here, there's a group of 4 who if you register as a group of 4, it means that maybe me, you, and a couple, 2 more people, we can go there, have fun, and it's also a bonding session. So many things come up with this. Like right now, you can see on your screen, some are walking like, oh my, this. Yeah, so that can always, you see couples also. You see, it's interesting.
You absolutely have to pace yourself, because there's the undulating course of the USIU Africa Half Marathon along the Northern Bypass. So you're going to be going up and down. The uphills, the climbs are a bit gradual, but still really something that you have to exert yourself in. And sometimes when you feel like you don't really have anything left in the tank as such, because you have about half the distance to go, then you could walk a little bit. And that is something that is allowed for non-elite athletes participating.
Yeah, and sometimes when you want to push yourself to the limits, you don't really have to walk, because when you walk, then it becomes really, really tiresome, because you look at the distance where you started and where you are. You'll just have to push yourself. As we await for the finish of the 21-kilometer race, we'll be waiting to see exactly who crosses the finishing line. 2 athletes in the leading pack, downhill. When I used to run, I didn't like the terrain that takes me downhill than uphill. I'd rather, I prefer
Going up.
going up.
I actually would enjoy myself and fly running downhill. Yes, but then you'd need to watch your knees because the impact can affect your knees in a big way. But when you're lighter, I think anything is possible.
I think the athletes I've interviewed in the past, they don't like it because it's like it makes you fly. By the time you pick up, then it becomes very difficult. But when you maintain that, like let's say you're in this place, of course, the around Thome area, there's that hilly part towards Mudaiga. Yeah.
And I suppose it really depends on the physiology of the different athletes. There are some who use the downhill as an opportunity to catch up. Right, because the uphills are more challenging for them. But steep inclines are very, very challenging. But there's some people who are actually quite good at that. And that's where you are able to separate yourself. And it looks like the leading athlete is making a run for it. At this point, he has decided to leave his counterpart behind and really make a run for it. So we are looking at, as you can see on the side with the neon jacket, that is the lead bike, giving us an indication of the lead athletes. And this looks like our first runner, barring any disaster. He looks like he's going to be the favorite for the men's category.
Yeah, two of them in that leading pack, and they just are about to head to the finish, as we previously saw there. And it's not about racing alone, but of course the tidings that come with it.
And this is also likely maybe the chasing pack. And it looks like or the leaders for the 10 kilometers.
Yeah, I think these are the leaders for the 10 kilometers.
Because the bib is a different color, right?
Yeah, on the left side of our screen, and on the right side, of course, is the 21 kilometer, and that is.
And now they're looking very comfortable running together in a pack, and we'll just see how that unfolds as well.
You know, it works well until, let's say, like in the 10 kilometers. I think it will work well until the 7th kilometer, and then you'll start seeing someone who had prepared well for that pulling away,
making a run for it,
and it's going to happen. It's 10 kilometers. You know, it's a shorter distance, but then it's all about the calculations also, and you can feel. Look at these athletes. I can tell you for free, the two athletes on the right side of you are primed for it. Because I'm looking at the running style, I'm looking at the composure, I'm looking at the way they are flexing their arms and the leg movement. You can always feel that there's someone who is ready for a sprint, just like you can see for the 21 kilometer.
That's right. And the athlete with the blue sleeveless vest.
Yeah.
The blue sleeveless vest running down, looking down for most of the race, and that might indicate that he's really just mentally trying to keep at it, mentally trying to keep going, and just wants to keep. You get a chance to look down, to concentrate, but it's very likely that he's feeling it at this point.
Of course, when you start looking down, it means that the lactic acid has started pouring in. The mental strength is a little bit shaky.
And Greg, what's most interesting is that they've just passed a hydration station, and none of the three has gotten a chance to replenish and get some water in their system. Most interesting.
It's 7:20 in the morning.
But by now they've lost a lot of water. You really need water to keep you going. And there's some elite athletes who've made that mistake before, like Paris Jepchirchir. During the World Championships, there was controversy about her not taking her drink at the station. And sometimes you're going to hit a wall if you have no hydration, if you have no fuel, no electrolytes. So those are interesting choices that they're making, but it's likely that it's still early and they're feeling good. But I would say you need to sip something, and that needs to be part of your training. How to pick the bottle up from the hydration station is something that you need to work on during your tempo runs, because you can't quite slow down, right? You can't slow down, but you need to be able to grab and go.
Yeah, you grab and smash, or smash and grab. But then it's all about, of course, the mental strength. Like some of them will prefer not having that hydration period, and it makes it maybe maintain the focus. Like the athlete in the leading pack for the 10 kilometers is decided not to go for the hydration break, and you see the ones that have, of course, gone for the hydration break. Like the athlete on with the blue bib, he's already had a couple of miles taken off, because you have to take the drinks. You have also to again re-energize and of course set up yourself to try and catch up. And it's all about the mental strength and ensuring that you are in the best shape. As you can see, when you have that hydration break, then it takes a little or a few seconds of your pace.
I'd still argue that you really do need to hydrate. I'd still argue that you need to hydrate because they're losing a lot of water. They're sweating quite a bit. They're not really running at a pace that is a friendly, casual pace. This is something that you need to cater for in your training. And that's why I said, like, during your tempo runs, they need to figure out how to grab the bottle while they are still running so that you don't slow down and keep going. And none of them actually took the water at the station itself. But maybe this is not, maybe this is just, these are athletes that are coming up and they're just, this is a practice for them. It's part of their training. But we can see that in the 10 kilometers, the lead athlete has made a break for it, a very decisive break with a couple of meters between them. And this looks like he's going to be our leader for most of the race now.
Yeah, did we lose the guy in the blue vest? I'm trying to look at where he was, because he was already showing signs of tiring, and you could feel that he could not keep up with the pace. But for the 21 kilometers, you can always feel there's something special happening, because the distance between the leading athlete and the second, the guy trying to catch up, it's like day and light right now. And it's something that we can always say it was bound to happen, because it's let's say 200, 400 meters apart. That's quite a distance to catch up.
That's right. And last year's race, in the inaugural edition of the USIU Africa Half Marathon, last year's race was won with a winning time of around 1 hour, 3 minutes, 1 second. And that was the same time, it's hand timed, the same time for both position 1 and 2. Zachariah Kuriki coming with a win, followed closely, narrowly ahead of George Wayaki. So 1 hour, 3 minutes, 1 second. We're going to see if today they're going to beat that course record, run in less time, really. And for the 10 kilometers, Greg, our champions were running in about 35 minutes.
Yeah, with the Kemoi Kelvin winning in a time of 32 minutes and 21 seconds. James Njoroge coming in second at 32 minutes, 34 seconds. It will be interesting to see who is leading in the women category also, because for the women last year, Catherine Mwanza won in a time of 1 hour, 13 seconds and 13 minutes, 5 seconds ahead of Mary Munanu, 1 hour, 14 minutes and 3 seconds. So Catherine Mwanza won in 1 hour, 13 minutes and 5 seconds, with Mary Munanu 1 hour, 14 minutes and 3 seconds. As you say, Zachariah Kiriki won the 21 kilometer men's race, 1 hour, 3 minutes and 1 second. That means that if he was doing a 42 kilometers, if he maintained the pace, he could have done 2:06 or a 2:07.
That's right, and that's actually world class.
Yeah.
And sometimes it equates. Sometimes you can double the time, sometimes not so much.
Yeah. So if we were projecting, maybe he could have done a 2:10.
2:10.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is
and
still
that is
well
elite.
within
that
the
is
elite.
That is elite standard. Yeah. But in a country like Kenya, where the competition is as high as it is, you might not make
the top 10,
the top 3 to be able to represent the country at the World Championships or the Olympics.
We talk about Sebastian Sawe doing a 1:59. That's smashing, and he says that he's gonna do it again in Berlin.
Sebastian Sawe, actually, his record was ratified just this week.
Actually, it was 3 days ago.
3 days ago. So he's officially the world record holder. And he takes this record from Kiptum, who unfortunately passed away.
Yeah, in 2023.
Yes, a
Yeah.
couple of years ago. We lost him at the peak of his prime, but we're glad that still there are many athletes actually who are still carrying the flag of Kenya and raising it high.
Yeah, and Sawe has become a household name. Not many actually knew him before the Valencia Marathon in 2024, and that is where he made his name. And 3 days ago, his world record was ratified, and now he is officially, because he did 1:59:30, smashing that 2-hour barrier. That was huge.
That was insane, and we had two athletes running under 2 hours for the first time.
Kejelcha too.
Yomif Kejelcha on his debut marathon. Yomif Kejelcha will be running in Valencia.
I like his running style.
And he's going to go against John Corrier.
John Corrier,
Boston Marathon champion. Right.
I saw him the other day. He was training he's training, and there is a vehicle ensuring that he keeps up to pace. But then his trainer tells him that after a certain mark, please don't proceed. They take his shoes, they take everything, and they tell him, okay, what do you want? And then they tell him, now, board the vehicle. Let's go home.
And I think John Corrier will actually be looking to make a statement that he also is one of the best in the world.
Because in Chicago, I think he had a good race. He did a 2-hour flat. I think it was 2 hours 37. I'll just be confirming the time. But then you look at that, he was almost bringing that record down.
That's right. He ran, I think, at 2:01, 2:02. Yes.
Yeah. He was on course to lowering the world record then.
Yes.
But then, a couple of months later, then comes Sebastian Sawe, breaking that world record for the first man. Of course, he's not the first man, because there were two of them running a sub 2 hour, him and Kejelcha, in an official marathon. So, listening to his interview later on, he says that he felt that he was ready for that, and he feels that he can lower it again in a span of 12 months.
Which is just beyond anything that we have ever thought possible. There are really no limits. Eliud Kipchoge, who also broke the world record several times.
He actually set the pace.
And is the absolute GOAT of marathon running, says that no human being is limited. And that's something Sebastian Sawe and the other younger athletes are able to carry with them. Even as Eliud Kipchoge makes his world tour, recently running in Brazil, and he causes quite the fracas because everyone wants to get a photo.
Did you see what he did in Beijing? That was crazy.
Yes, and it makes it. And he says one of his missions is to make this world a running world. And I think there's no one who can do a better job than the greatest of all time, Eliud Kipchoge.
Yeah, is in Sydney now.
Sydney next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eliud Kipchoge, of course, he'll be watching this race and hoping that someone else comes in and, of course, continues with the tradition. But
Sebastian Sawe had tried.
Sawe has already shown us that he actually picked from where Eliud left.
Yes.
And Eliud has been here a minute.
And he tried for 2 years, I believe, to lower the world record. Mm-hmm. But sometimes the conditions aren't right. And at this year's London Marathon, the conditions were perfect. And that is why the race went as well as it did. And that then will bring you to what are the conditions looking like at the Northern Bypass at this time. It's about 14 to 15 degrees Celsius. It's mostly cloudy. The wind is light, so it shouldn't significantly affect runners. And there's no rain at the moment. And those are some of the best conditions. Those are good temperatures to run. And that's why the USIU Africa Half Marathon was being flagged off early morning, because you want to get the miles in before the sun comes up. And then you get better times, even though this is athletes from this part of the country, from this part of the world, which is Kenya by the equator. We are used to running in hot, sunny conditions. But this is it's necessary to keep your body cool, and such conditions actually help you do your best. On the screen right now, we are looking at the 10 kilometers. Likely champion, the favorite for this, making his way back to USIU.
And some are going the opposite direction.
That's right, and that's probably the fun runners or people who came much, much later. But this looks like it's about to come to an end.
Yeah, and I can see the 21-kilometer race is also taking shape. This is the 10-kilometer race, of course, right now on your screens, and you can always feel there's someone who's had lined up for this one. It's had sleepless nights, had enough preparation, and ensure that his body was in shape to come and compete in this one. And you can always feel that even even look at even the gear that he has just tells you that this is an athlete. He didn't come here just for play. And you can feel that this is something very interesting. And this is the 10-kilometer race heading to the finishing line.
And we might have a new champion in the 10-kilometer USIU Africa Half Marathon 10-kilometer road race as well. Followed closely by the athlete in second position. Indeed, bib number 10037 is our champion for today. And I'm curious to hear what he has to say about how the course was. And we'll be handing over to Gladys Midecha a bit soon. And then 10075 bib number comes in second position.
Are they training partners?
It looks like they're friends because for the most part they ran together, and he says that he's built different. That's what his t-shirt says, and indeed he is. It's no easy task.
And credit to the guy who finishes third.
And for the most part they ran as a pack, but at some point bib number 10037 had to make a run for it and stamp his authority. He's the shortest of the bunch, but the stronger one on the day.
Yeah, but clearly you could feel they had a plan. And they just finished on the podium, the three of them. They started the race together, had a difference in a couple of meters when it came to the crucial part of the race. But then I noticed something with the winner. He started celebrating a little bit early. He could have been caught up.
No, I think he had enough meters between them, and he knew it was his day.
There's a race where,
but there's a risk.
Yeah,
indeed there is a risk.
Yeah,
if you celebrate too early, and
then you get caught up. And it affected the
But do you think if you were a coach, and you were a coach, just a football coach, but what would your advice be if you were training these athletes? Because you want to be able to celebrate, because you're feeling excited, and that's normal. That is what your parasympathetic system is telling you, that you've done it, finally you're winning. Or would you say, no, focus until you cross the finish line, do not celebrate at all? Shouldn't they be able to encourage themselves, give themselves a little motivation for the good job that they have done? What is your opinion, Greg?
I think I'll always tell them, get the job done, because coming to such, you've already prepared for any eventuality. So if you win, yes, that's a bonus, but get the job done.
So focus, get to the finish line. No shenanigans until you cross the finish line.
Yes, and even locally, when you're doing the local track and field, and you see sometimes some athletes have made errors previously when they celebrate a little bit early, then they're caught up on the line, then they're devastated. Don't want to give examples because we all know it has happened. But I'm looking at a situation whereby we're looking at a situation whereby an athlete has to get the job done, but then Joshua McCory is on the ground. Of course, he'll be talking to the podium finishers in the 10-kilometer race, and I think it's just good.
Let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Cooler vibe. Sasa tayari Gaspar Amboye ameshinda kilomita 10 upande wa wanaume na anataka haraka upesi niseme naye hapa angalau aniambie mambo yamekuaje hadi kuandika ushindi dakika hii. Gaspar, karibu sana ndani ya NTV, tuko live. Imekuaje kushinda kilomita 10 leo?
Nashukuru sana. Imekuwa Mungu mazee, imekuwa Mungu. Haja nisidanganya, before the race I asked God to give me the win. The competition was tough but God did it for me. So it's God.
Na umejiandaje your preparations kabla kuja?
Nilikuwa na practice like 3 runs a week. 3 runs a week for a while. So nimekuwa in shape. So sijaomba tu Mungu na nimekaa. Unajua ukiomba Mungu pia unatia kazi pia. Yeah.
Shindano kadhaa huwa unashiriki ama inakuaje umejipata hapa katika kilomita 10?
Sana najipata kwa hizi mashindano zinaitwa charity, supporting the needy. For example, ya leo ni supporting needy students. So sana najipata za university, this USIU, Strathmore. So naweza sema they are not the main runs, but hivi runs zinakaa sio local but kidogo ndogo kidogo.
Gaspar, napenda sana mbio.
Napenda mbio.
Kwa nini?
Mbio inafanya vitu mingi. Mwanzo inafanya weekend si kuenda bash, weekend ni kuprepare Quran, unaona? Yeah, so unakwepa mambo mengi ya dunia ya sasa, pili kupea good health. Kukua mgonjwa si rahisi. Mimi sikumbuki mwisho nimekuwa mgonjwa mwaka gani, kwa sababu ya keep active, keep running, ya keep fit. Kupea pia community, kuna watu unapata new people, you interact with new people, pia unapata connections, so it has like multiple benefits.
Asante.
Karibu.
Huyo ni Gaspar ambaye ameshinda kilomita 10 upande wa wanaume. Tunasubiria kuona wale ambao pia watakuwa maliza hapa angalau niseme. Lakini kwa sasa nataka pia niseme na binti ambaye amekuja hapa akiwa kilomita 10. Mwanzo naitwa nani na imekuwaje?
Naitwa Esther Kioko. Ndio imekuwa poa. Nimependa climate venye iko. Imenipenda sana. Na nafurahia kwa ushindi. Sikuwa najua kama itakuwa hivyo, lakini nafurahia nimekuwa mshindi wa siku ya leo kwa 10 km. Yeah.
Na ndio zako zilikuwaje kabla?
Nilikuwa nimepiga mazoezi of which unajuanga mkimbiaji you prepare 3 months before the race, so inabidi venye nimeona course na venye tuliona kwa map, inabidi tuna train kwa milima, kwa mbonde, flats, everywhere, so ni lazima tu train kabla tuende kwa race.
Na hali vimekupendelea ama imekuwa na changamoto?
Ya leo iko sawa, hakuna changamoto. Ile tu milima ni mingi, lakini hewa iko sawa kabisa. Nimefurahia.
Asante.
Karibu.
Narejesha uskani pale Studio Nation Center kwake Manya na mimi.
We have a new champion in the 10 kilometer. We have a new male and female champion, Esther Kioko, walking away with the victory, becoming the
Actually,
first woman to
with
cross
the victory.
ran away with the victory. Ran away with the victory, indeed.
Yeah.
Coming in first position, and she says the conditions were good. The course had a few hills, descents, and ascents, and that's the kind of training that she sought to get her body ready with. And in the men's category, the 10 kilometer, we have Gaspar Omonde, who says that he doesn't even remember the last time he got sick because of the kind of active lifestyle that he keeps, and enjoys community, the community that you get, a sense of community that you get when you participate in these kind of runs and the training and the like. And Gaspar and Esther will be walking away with 150,000 Kenya shillings each. Which is not a bad sum. Actually, I think 150 would be for the 21 kilometers, and we're going to have to confirm about what the 10 kilometer road race winners will be walking away with.
Either way, and you can feel that 2 hours of work, you get 150 tidy sums.
In fact, much less. It's 1 hour.
1 hour, yeah, actually.
Just about 1 hour.
Yeah. But of course, look at the preparation. Like Gaspar Mondi says that weekends are not for fun; they are for running.
And he felt good. He really did feel good, and that's how he was running. He was running with an upright posture. Not once did we see his shoulders drooping down.
I think I pointed that when the race was on. When I told you, like, look at the difference between the 3 athletes. One of them looks more of an athlete. The other one almost like an athlete, and the other one was running for fun and just hoping that he crossed the finishing line. But surprisingly, all of them finished on the podium.
That's right. And it's such opportunities that get you to push beyond your limits. Eliud Kipchoge, the greatest of all time, a 2-time Olympic champion in the marathon, tells us that no human is limited. And he wants to see this world become a running world. Because indeed, we run more, we move more, then we have less lifestyle diseases to deal with.
Yeah, and just looking at the 21-kilometer race, and you can feel that it's now getting towards the business end of it. The leading athlete just ensuring that he keeps the pace. But look at his posture, the running style. He seems to have primed himself for this one. Looking at the way he's running, looking at the way everything has been lined up. Of course, the bike was showing him the way. A lot of in Kenya, something fun that you can run alongside anything, borders, lorries, and everything. Just it's all about the focus, like what you can see right now, and looking at the 10-kilometer race. And something interesting is the ambulances on site. It's just brings that picture that
just in case of anything.
In case of anything, you're ready.
If you push yourself way too much, isn't it?
I told you about Haboron. I saw athletes being taken to medical centers. I was like, wait a minute. These elite athletes go through a lot.
And what's fascinating for me, Greg, is just how they put everything on the line. Because at the time that you are racing, that is the one thing that you're thinking about. And if you die, you die, would be like the kind of mindset that they have. Esther Kioko, ladies and gentlemen, is our new champion in the 10-kilometer race. She's participated in the 5,000 meters, Greg, in the Athletics Kenya circuit. And just this year in
She's a familiar name.
Yes, just in Thika, she came in 6th in the 5,000 meters and has a personal best of 36 minutes, 16 seconds in the 10 kilometer. And today, the victory was hers. And sometimes this is what you have to do. For the cross country, that was the cross country race that was held in Eldoret around 14th February. And I believe you were commentating that. She came in 56th position. But today, her story is different. Today, she is our new champion for the 2026 edition 10-kilometer for the USIU Africa Half Marathon. You
know, they always say, look at 56. She will not remember finishing 56, but she'll remember the victory she had in the USIU Africa Half Marathon. And these are the stories that elevate athletes from making them prepare well, because right now she'll be going and preparing for the next races, having been confirmed as champion in this edition. Remember, 56 was just a number.
And now we have eyes on bib number 211718. And that looks like our champion for this year's edition of the 2026 USIU Africa Half Marathon. This now is going to be the one who walks away with 150,000 shillings. Coming in very soon to win this 21-kilometer race is bib number 211718. And it'll be amazing to hear from him and just see how he goes. Pictures we'll be getting pictures soon on the leader of the race, of the 21-kilometer race.
These are athletes still coming in from the 10K because this is the ultimate leader in the 21-kilometer category, and you can feel that he's heading home.
And interesting is that he's still looking around him. He's confirming, Greg, that there's no one near him.
Be sure, because
he wants to walk away.
The tape almost went to someone else.
Right. He wants to walk away with 150,000 shillings. And that's what's on the line. And that's a pretty penny. Bib 211718, barring any disaster, is now at the USIU Africa grounds and will be looking like our new champion for the 2026 edition.
I'm just waiting to see how he comes up for this one, and the fun athletes, there he is, of course, ensuring that he keeps up to pace, and he looks really strong. This must be someone who's done a full marathon before.
Right, he could be a full marathon runner, he could be a road racer.
Yeah.
But he's looking very good, still managing to look at his time. And sometimes athletes really get preoccupied. They want to know their pace, their time. And some coaches would argue, don't do that right now. Just keep running. Think about how good you're feeling, and don't be too... because it takes energy. It takes energy for you to look at your watch. But this is something that he looks like he woke up today knowing that he was going to do. He was going to conquer the USIU Africa Half Marathon route along the Northern Bypass, all the way to Conca, just about near Ruaka. And now crossing the finish line. Indeed, this is our champion for the 2026 USIU Africa Half Marathon, bib number 211718. And we'll be tuning in, we'll be keeping tabs, tuning in to Joshua Makori or Gladys Midecha to give us more about what his experience was like and how excited he is to walk away with a win. We have a new champion. Bib number 211718 is the men's winner in the 21-kilometer category of the USIU Africa Half Marathon.
You realize he's still looking at where number 2 is.
He knew. He came today with a mission.
Yeah.
He came today for the victory.
And looking at him, you can always feel that he was more prepared. He was the better prepared. And look, he hasn't even broken a sweat. looking at how things have turned out to be. And it is something that tells you that when you go somewhere well prepared, then you can always conquer and break the barriers, and we'll be waiting to hear exactly what he has to say, the sentiments. But that was a smashing win.
Indeed it was. And he ran alone for most of the race. And now we'll be heading to Joshua McCory to speak to us, to speak to the winner of the 21-kilometer men's category in the half marathon.
Tayari nimepatana na mshindi wa kilomita 21 nusu marathon hapa mashindano ya USIU. Niseme naye moja kwa moja ngani, ukiangalia hivi kwa kamera hapa. Unaitwa nani na imekuwaje leo?
My name is Athanas Kioko. I did the 21K and it was great.
Are you happy?
I'm happy. I've been training all along and I learned about this race and I was like, let me do it. And you know, I ended up signing up at the last minute and I think it was a good decision.
Were you expecting to win today?
I was taking this race as a workout, a temporary, let's say. But then somewhere around 5K, I realized that I was feeling great and I was in front with one more guy. So I just decided to just keep pushing and, you know, it worked out well.
Hii win inamaanisha nini kwako?
This win means a lot to me. It lets me know that my training is going on well and I'm doing the right things and I'm moving in the right direction. I also get to learn, you know, the things I need to work more on through pushing myself to the limit. So I think this was a good decision. It was a good race. Yeah.
Hongera.
Thank you.
Asante. Wacha niseme na number 2. Jina naitwa nani na imekuwaje leo?
My name is Kevin Keboy. Race haikuwa mbaya leo.
How was it?
Race is good. Race is mbaya, unajua ukitrain very hard is not bad. Yeah.
Ulikuwa unatarajia kama ungemaliza number 2?
Sikuwa natarajia. Nilikuwa nasema wacha nijaribu tu. Yeah, sasa naambia Mungu asante kwa sababu nimejaribu kuwa number 2. Yeah. Next time I come here to win. I will try. Yeah.
Na ulikuwa umejiandaaje kabla ya kuja?
Nilikuwa nimetrain vizuri. Sasa nilikuwa nasema wacha niende tu nijaribu. Yeah.
Kila la heri.
Thank you.
Asante. Huyo ni mshindi wa pili kilomita 21. Niko hapa nimekita hema, wakiingia tu na waweka ngani.
Athanas Kioko is our new champion for the 2026 edition of the USIU Africa Half Marathon. He actually has a very extensive resume. He's run distances all the way from the mile. He's 31 years of age and has a lot of experience. But his personal best for the full marathon is 2:10:56, which he ran back in 2025 in Los Angeles. He actually participates in quite a number of races in North America. And Athanas Kioko, 31 years of age, is our new champion for the 2026 edition.
You know, when he was leading, you remember what I told you? He looks like someone who's done a full marathon and surprising his life.
Indeed, that you called it.
Yeah.
You called it.
Yeah, and you just notice, or even notice that the technical part of it, and you could feel he's barely broken a sweat. And coming to this one, he's just shown that he's among the best. And there's something I've also noticed: Esther Kioko and Athanas Kioko.
It's Kioko Sunday today.
It's a Kioko Sunday. Yeah, but good tidings there. And one thing I'll pick from his interview saying that they signed in at the last attempt. Yeah. And like, okay, wait a minute, let me just do this.
We still haven't received the women's winner. I think Frida Ndinda should really be among the pack. And she made a decisive run for it very early on. But yeah.
Maybe she should be closing in.
Yeah, maybe she should be coming.
Because I think on our screens, like most of them are athletes. Maybe the 21-kilometer men and the 10-kilometer that happened earlier on, the fun runners.
And you know, we have a lot of local races, Greg. But giving people like Athanas Kioko an opportunity to run, he said that this is a tempo run. This was a tempo run for him. That's how he decided to treat it. And he's a 2:10 marathon runner, which he ran back in 2025 in Los Angeles. And he's still very, very excited.
Yeah, and
very excited, and we still see him. And Greg, this is a face that you might be seeing in the rounds, the preliminary rounds for Athletics Kenya meets in the circuit.
Talking about Athletics Kenya, of course, you can see their representatives on the ground, of course, ensuring that the timings are correct, because this is an official marathon, by the way, certified by Athletics Kenya. So it tells you that everything that is happening here is happening not just only for the charity and the good cause, but also ensuring that these athletes are they are in the record books, and I can see that the representation is also great from Athletics Kenya.
I think now we have the women's half marathon winner coming in, and that is not Frida Ndinda, but we'll be interested to hear from her. That is bib number 21845. Bib number 21845 is our new champion.
She's elated, she's jubilated, and you can feel. Look at her, she's enjoyed the race, and you know, when you finish the race smiling, it tells you that everything that happens, it's all about the preparations you put in place. Yeah.
So maybe Frida did
she just drop out?
Maybe she dropped out. Maybe she felt a certain type of way, or maybe just bib number 21845 was the better athlete of the day. Indeed.
Yeah, and we'll be waiting to see exactly what she has to say, because it's like she's also barely broken a sweat.
And she's very excited. That is a kind of joy that you get when you're walking away with 150,000 shillings. But more than that, because you challenged yourself, you pushed your limits. And Joshua Makori will be getting us an interview with today's new champion for the USIU Africa Half Marathon women's category.
Mshindi wa kilomita 21 nusu marathon upande wa kinadada ameishafika, niseme naye hapa ndani ya NTV. Mwanzo, unaitwa nani na imekwaje?
My name is Mary Monano. Actually, I'm so happy to win this race. This is second edition. Last year I came here, I was position 2. So today I was trying so hard at least to be a winner and also to improve my time. Because last year I ran 74 minutes, but today I'm happy I was able to run 72 minutes.
So you were expecting to win today?
I was expecting to win here. This is also, okay, I've been training for a few months, so I'm preparing for marathon, maybe in the next 2 months. So I was coming here also to see whether I'm improving on my speed for preparation of marathon.
So what's next now?
I'm not really very sure, but in the next 2 months, I'll be running a marathon. It might be maybe Berlin or Frankfurt marathon. So I'm waiting to hear from my manager.
All the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Nataka pia niseme na huyu ambaye amemaliza wa pili. Unaitwa nani na imekuwaje?
Naitwa Nimfa Kiteta Kivalo na mbio imekuwa mzuri, nashukuru Mungu. Hii ni mara yangu ya pili kuwa hapa. Last time nilikuwa position 3. I thank God for today's victory and I am grateful also for the improvement. Yeah.
Kama mwaka jana ulikuwa number 3, leo number 2, umeimprove sana?
Yeah, nimeimprove sana, nashukuru Mungu.
Hii ni kama mwaka unaokuja number 1?
Natumai. Yeah.
Na matayarisho yako yalikuwaje kabla kuja?
Matayarisho yangu ilikuwa mzuri. Yeah, na I hope for the best. Yeah.
Unapenda mbio sana?
Sana kabisa.
Kuna mashindano mengine umeshiriki hapa na pale mwaka?
Yeah, nilikuwa nimeshiriki katika mbio ya Netherlands. Yeah, na pale sikufaulu vizuri, lakini nashukuru Mungu pia. Nilikuwa ni changamoto ya weather, lakini I thank God right now in Kenya is a bit better.
Na weather ya leo imekuwaje?
Weather ya leo imekuwa mzuri, si kama ya last time. Yeah.
Mwaka kuna mashindano mengine pia unaenda?
Probably for now sina. For now sina, lakini niko na matumaini ya kwamba mbio na ambazo zinakuja matayarisho mengine pia nitajiandaa kabisa. Betika probably yeah.
Hongera sana.
Asante.
Asante sana. Huyo amemaliza katika nafasi ya pili, anasema amefurahia sana. Kajana nafasi ya tatu, leo hii nafasi ya pili. Labda mwaka ujao itakuwa ni nafasi ya kwanza. Yoshua Makorindo na gonga kutoka hapa USIU.
And Greg, there seems to be a running theme in the women's half marathon. Mary Munanu was second place last year, and today she came out victorious and is the winner. Nympha Kiteta was third last year and has improved her position as well, and came second placed.
Yeah.
To walk away with 80,000 shillings, with Mary Munanu walking away with 150,000 Kenya shillings. Not bad for the second edition. And we have the same elite athletes choosing to participate in this USIU Africa Half Marathon, where we're running for education, miles for education. When we come back, we will be having pictures of the award ceremony. But for now, we take a short commercial break.